Hi, my name is Liz Matthews. Welcome to Science. This is my friend Sue, who will be my student today.
Hello.
Hi, Sue.
Good to see you
Good
again.
to see you. Sit on down.
Okay.
Thumbs up if you're ready for science.
I'm ready.
Excellent.
Let's
I see that
go.
you have your science journal
I do,
and
my
your
pencil.
and we have some colored pencils if we want to get creative today.
Okay.
We're going to be continuing on our unit, The Structure and Behavior of Living Things. And there are two questions I want you to keep in your mind. One is, what structures and behaviors will help animals and plants to survive? We've been talking about some animals who have superpowers. We'll get into that a little more. And then our second question is, how do scientists and engineers use ideas from nature to solve problems? That is called biomimicry. Do you know what the word mimic means?
It means to copy.
Excellent. So biomimicry is when people use ideas from nature to solve problems. Now we're going to go through our vocabulary today. Our first word is camouflage, which is what we studied last week. Can you tell me a little bit about what camouflage is?
Camouflage is using similar colors from nature to hide yourself or
Excellent.
blend in.
That's right. It's blending in. It protects the animals, right? So protection is another one of our words. Nature, of course. Problem, solutions, inventions, and of course biomimicry.
Okay.
All right. So take a look at this turtle on the screen. All right? So what do you notice about this turtle?
He has a shell.
He has a shell. What else do you notice?
He can withdraw.
He
into
can
the
withdraw.
shell.
He can hide in his shell. What else do you notice? What about the coloring of his shell?
Well, the coloring is also camouflage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, what else do you notice about the shell? What do you notice about that shell? Is it hard?
It's round. It's hard.
It's round. It's hard. So it protects him.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Is there anything? Think about this for a moment. Do you think there's anything in nature that reminds you of?
Anything in nature or?
I'm sorry.
Something
Anything
that
that
we might
man
do?
might have made.
Okay. A helmet.
A helmet.
would be
Excellent.
great. Yeah.
I just happen to have one. And actually it looks quite like this turtle shell now, doesn't it? Look at it. It's the same. It's very similar. The shape. It's hard. And so I think if I put this on my head, it would protect me.
It would.
And a lot of people use this when they ride bicycles or when they ride scooters. It protects their head.
There are different helmets for different events.
Absolutely. So this is a bicycle helmet. It's an example of biomimicry.
Okay.
We're going to read this book now, talk about a little more about superpowers of animals. And this book is called Ducks Don't Get Wet. Ducks don't get wet. Ducks are water birds. All day long they go in and out of the water, in and out, in and out. No matter how many times they go into the water, ducks don't get wet. Ducks are waterproof. Every duck is waterproof because it has an oil gland near its tail. With its broad bill, the duck strokes this oil gland. Then it smears the oil over its feathers. This is called preening. Ducks spend hours preening themselves. That is how they keep their feathers covered with oil. The feathers do not get wet because oil and water do not mix. Water rolls right off the oily feathers. Ducks spend most of their time in the water. They splash around in puddles and ponds and swamps and shallow streams. You can see ducks tipping their heads under the water and tipping their tails up in the air. Have you ever seen a duck do that in a pond?
Oh, yeah.
That's really interesting, isn't it? And they look like they're having fun, don't they?
Well, they're busy eating.
They're busy. They're busy. When ducks dabble in the water this way, they are searching for food. They're busy. Their webbed feet paddle fast as they tug water weeds with their broad bills. So they have webbed feet that makes them paddle fast. So that's another superpower, isn't it? Pintail ducks and mallards search through the water for pond grass and wild rice, for seeds and insects. Blue-winged teals tip for wild ice, insects, and snails. Shoveler ducks waddle in and out of those shallow water. They shovel up mud and strain it for seeds and tiny water plants. They scoop up water and strain it for insects and shrimp. Wood ducks look for water plants. They eat wild rice, water lily seeds, acorns, and insects. Other ducks are expert divers. Some ducks can dive down 100 feet. That's as deep as a 10-story building is high. That's pretty deep.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's a superpower.
Sure is.
They can swim underwater for 300 feet, the length of a city block. When they come up for air, they are dry. Wow, 300 feet? That's a city block. That's a long time.
100 feet down.
Wow. Canvasbacks and scaups dive for shellfish and water plants such as wild celery. Harlequin ducks dive for insects and fish. So too the buffleheads.
There are a lot of different ducks. That's
What
a merganser, isn't it?
Yes, it's a merganser. They dive for fish with his saw-edged bill. A merganser can catch and hold onto a slippery salmon or trout. Ducks usually find their food in the water or along the shores of lakes and ponds. When the weather gets cold, the rivers and marshes, ponds and lakes are covered with ice. When the water freezes, crabs and crayfish, duckweeds and pond weeds, all the fish are beneath the ice. Ducks cannot reach this great food. Then the ducks leave for the south. They're smart. They fly southward to open water where they can find food. Southward fly the dabbling ducks and the diving ducks. Southward fly the ducks at 30 to 70 miles an hour, depending on the wind, as fast as a car. That's pretty fast.
It is. I didn't realize
Woo!
they flew that fast.
That is fast. Southward to open waters and good food fly the ducks. They may fly through sunshine or storm clouds. They may fly in strong winds and light showers, and the raindrops will right off their back.
They don't get wet.
They don't get wet. If they fly over your house, you may be sure you will see them again next fall. Ducks travel the same route or flyway year after year. Sometimes they fly in a V formation. The leader flies at the point of the V, and the other ducks fan out behind. Did you ever see ducks do that?
I have. I've seen them trade places.
They trade places? Leaders play traces? Yeah. That is a very cooperative duck. Okay. When ducks fly low, you may be able to see them clearly. You may be able to hear the hiss and whistle of the wind as it slips off their oiled feathers. You may be able to hear the thumping of their wings. But when the ducks fly very high, you will not be able to hear them or see a single duck clearly. You will know that ducks are passing overhead only when you see a V in the sky that looks like a faint wisp of smoke. You will know that ducks are flying southward for the winter. When spring comes, the ducks will return. They will fly north to dabble and dive in the rivers and lakes, in the ponds and the marshes. They will fly back to open water and good duck food. They will fly back north through strong winds and spring rains, and they will always be dry because ducks don't get wet. Excellent. So we're going to do one experiment today.
Okay.
We're going to see if it really is true that ducks don't get wet. Okay, so I have with me, I have feathers.
Okay.
I have oil. I have a measuring cup. And of course I have some water. So we're going to do an experiment where we're going to take one feather and we're going to put oil on it.
Okay.
And then we're going to pour water on it. And then we're going to take another feather without oil.
Aha.
And we're going to pour water on it. Let's make a prediction. What do you think will happen?
Well, I'm hoping that the feather with the oil will repel all the water.
Okay, well let's see if that works. Now we're scientists, we're doing an experiment. So if our prediction isn't right, are we failing?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. Solutions often take multiple experiments.
Okay, excellent. So we're just going to give it a try and see what happens. Okay, let's see if we can prove this theory that if we put water and we put oil on a feather, we're not going to get wet. So here I'm just measuring a 1/4 cup of oil. I'm going to put it in this bowl. all right?
Okay.
Now you're going to take one feather.
Got it.
You have your one feather. Now you're going to, good, thank you for putting your glove on. That's very responsible. Now you're going to just take your
Do you want
fingers.
me to dip it or just?
No, you got to take your fingers
Okay.
and just rub it, rub the oil on the
Okay.
feather. Okay?
I think that'll
Excellent.
do it.
How is it? Are you ready? Let's see
Feels
what
hot.
happens. Let's see what happens. Okay. I'm going to put water on it. Oh, what's happening, Sue? What's
It's not
happening?
affecting the feather at all.
Oh!
It's just rolling right
It's
off.
rolling right off. Oh my
It.
goodness.
Feather's not wet.
It's not wet.
Speed it up.
All right. So that was, let's see what happens with the feather that doesn't have oil on it.
Okay.
Thank you for taking off your glove. I will
Okay,
throw
the
it
oil's
away.
on the inside.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This doesn't have any
This
oil
doesn't.
on it. Let's see.
Oh. Not so good.
Oh, what's going on?
Feather's wet.
Oh, feather's wet. So what does that tell us?
Tells us that since it doesn't have oil, it's going to soak up the water.
That's right, a very wet feather.
It is.
All right, so we proved our point. And our point is oil and water don't mix. And that is why ducks don't get wet. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. We're going to watch a film.
Okay.
We're going to watch a film about biomimicry. So we can sit down. I'll clean this up.
Okay.
You can stop back here.
These are called sugar gliders. Oh, amazing animals that can jump and glide from place to place. When scientists make things inspired by nature, like these sugar gliders, it's called biomimicry. I'm Dr. Jeff, and today on 3, 2 Wonder, we'll see what our animal friends can teach us. Let's explore. Wow. Let's see if our stuff has been damaged. It's all safe. The magnifying glass, the apple, and the lime. And it's still delicious.
Thank you, Armadillo. You're armored with great ideas. What other animals inspire biomimicry, Dr. Jeff?
Animals aren't the only things that inspire us with new ideas. We also turn to plants when it comes to biomimicry.
What can we learn from plants?
For example, watch me drip water onto this leaf from a nasturtium plant.
Wow!
Some plants, like this one, have a special coating on their leaves that lets the water slide right off them. It's like waterproof. Scientists have even developed a spray to make nearly anything waterproof. This notepad has been treated with that special spray. And this piece of metal too. The water beads right off. It even works on a tissue and it can keep your clothes dry. Thank you, plants. Here are some other examples of how biomimicry has affected our everyday lives. The woodpecker has stabilizer muscles in their necks that prevent the animal from being injured. Thanks to biomimicry, a new football helmet has been designed with built-in neck stabilizers to prevent people from being injured while they play the sport they love. The cocklebur plant has burrs that can stick to clothes and animal fur. Scientists saw this in action and made Velcro. Let's go back to the lab for some DIY.
Okay.
Okay.
So how did you like the
I
video?
really enjoyed it.
It was fun,
Yeah.
wasn't it? What did you
Very
like?
informative. Oh, I loved the flying squirrel.
There, it's pretty
Well,
cool.
the
Those
sugar
sugar
glider,
gliders,
yeah.
right? They can
Yeah.
fly. So
They-
man made a little outfit practically.
Yes.
A designer.
Yes.
It's almost like being a fashion designer.
It is.
Right?
You're right.
Yeah, and I like the armadillo.
The armadillo.
The
was cool.
armadillo is pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? Even cooler, almost cooler than a turtle. Almost. Because they made that backpack that
Right.
really folded it into itself.
Right.
It was another thing that protected
And he
it.
can roll.
And right. So, we are seeing very great examples of biomimicry, right? I mean, biomimicry is when people use ideas from nature to solve problems.
Right.
So now we're going to do another experiment.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can make a waterproof shoe.
Oh, cool.
All right, so I have a pair of sneakers that parents have given me, both sneakers. What we're going to do with one sneaker is we're going to rub wax on one sneaker and then see what happens. Pour water on it. And we're going to just pour water on the one that doesn't have any wax and see
Okay.
what happens. Let's make a prediction. What do you think might happen?
I'm hoping that
Okay.
the waxed sneaker
Yes.
will let the water roll off, like the nasturtium leaf.
Okay, let's see if that could happen. So I'm going to
Okay.
ask you to come up and start rubbing this
Okay.
shoe with wax. And now we have already decided, and we've already discussed that scientists sometimes try many, many, many times to, experiments before they work. And sometimes their predictions don't work. But isn't that science?
Well, it is. And
Okay.
they just keep trying again.
Let's keep trying and trying again. So it's not the first time necessary, but let's just see what this works, if this works. And this is such a special time for us because we have so many helpers in the room.
Okay.
And so each group is going to have an adult with them because we're going to take it one step further and we're going to keep rubbing get that wax on. We're going to take it a little further. We're going to have a hair dryer and we're going to fix the wax.
Okay.
That's another thing that we do. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You can see the wax on the shoe, especially on that tongue. We took the shoelaces out. Okay, you think
Right.
we're ready? happens now. Let's see. So I'm going to pour water on this shoe. Let's see what happens. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my goodness,
look
what's
at
going
that.
on?
It's rolling right off.
It's rolling right off. Oh, I'm so happy.
That's cool.
It works.
That's really cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So, yay. Yay, yay. Okay, so let's see what happens with this one that does not have any wax on her. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, let's go.
It's soaking right through.
Oh, it's soaking right through. No wax. Whoops. Wow. So what does that tell us?
It tells us that wax will repel moisture.
Okay.
And will protect, well, in that case, it'll protect the shoe. from getting wet.
Excellent. Excellent prediction. All right. Well, let's sit down and we'll see if we can write. We'll talk about it a little bit. All right.
Okay.
So it was an example from nature. What we did is we copied what we said about the nasturtium plant, right?
Right.
It has a special wax.
Right.
So what I'd like you to do, let's go over our vocabulary. We have camouflage,
Right.
protection, nature, problem solutions, inventions, and biomimicry. So biomimicry is really an interesting concept. And it helps animals and plants to survive. We use ideas from nature to solve problems. Now, what I'd like you to do is let's think about it. Put your, just relax. We have your science journal. You can make a little picture if you want, or better yet, let's do something. Let's pretend that we're writing. We want you to write 2 simple sentences that you're going to for the kindergartners. I mean, we're first graders, right?
Right.
So we want to, for the kindergartners, we want to write 2 sentences. So I'm going to give you a little time.
Okay.
And just think about it. And when you're ready, you can write your sentence, and when you're ready, we'll share the sentences.
Okay. Let's see.
Don't worry about the spelling. Just get your thought out, and I'll give you a hand with that.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like to share the first sentence with me?
Okay. Biomimicry lets man copy nature's ideas.
Excellent. I'm going to write that down so we can all share it. It's biomimicry. What is it? Biomimicry
Lets man or helps man
helps
copy nature's ideas.
man copy nature's ideas. Okay, that's an excellent sentence. And what is your second sentence?
Man learned how to build planes by watching how birds use their wings.
Wow, that's a great sentence. You're going to have to help me with that one. Could you say it slowly so I can write it down?
Sure. Man learned
to
build planes
planes
by watching how birds used their wings.
by watching how birds
Used their wings.
I think these are wonderful sentences. Use their wings. Okay, well, here are our sentences. Okay? This is great. We can share that with the kindergartners, and I think that would be really fun. So what I'm going to ask you to do for your homework is to just start noticing things in nature.
Okay.
Like notice when it's raining, what is wet and what isn't wet. Maybe if you see birds fly in that V formation, just take a notice of that.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do for me is just draw me a picture so that the next time we come to science class, we can share our pictures and share our observations, okay? And then maybe we can brainstorm on other ideas that maybe even scientists haven't thought of yet. You never know. It's all out there. Nature is amazing.
It is.
And you'll always see that there are structures and behaviors that help animals survive, and that can help us.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it through biomimicry. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next
It was fun.
week.